In a move that sent shivers down many spines, Trump's border czar Tom Homan warned that Mahmoud Khalil might be the first in a long line of green card holders facing removal. The air was thick with tension as he painted a picture of an immigration sweep that would catch both legal and illegal residents alike. Could this be the opening chapter of a much darker story? Earlier on Monday, President Trump himself took a moment to boast about Khalil's arrest, declaring it the first of many to come. Even though Khalil remains a legal resident and has not been convicted of any crime, the president's confident tone left little doubt that more removals were imminent. Was this just the start of a much larger operation? Mahmoud Khalil, a Palestinian born and raised in Syria, had become a prominent figure during last year's protests at Columbia University. He not only helped spark the demonstrations against Israel but also stepped in as a mediator between heated students and the school's officials. The campus was alive with clashing voices and restless energy, an energy that still lingers in the minds of many. What will be the lasting echo of these events? Just when it seemed the noose was tightening, a judge intervened to put a temporary hold on Khalil's deportation. At 27, this pro-Palestine activist now finds himself in a legal limbo, his fate hanging by a thread until a further ruling is made. This unexpected delay leaves us waiting with bated breath. What twist comes next? Tom Homan, the man steering Trump's hard-edged border policies, made it clear that deporting green card holders like Khalil was well within reach. "Absolutely we can," he stated, his voice ringing with certainty. With every word, he sent a message that no one is untouchable under this new regime. How far will this drive go? On live TV, Homan didn't hold back as he fired off a string of pointed questions. Did Khalil break the rules of his visa? Was he guilty of attacking Israeli students, locking down buildings, or even damaging property? His emphatic absolutely reverberated through the air, even as the questions left a lingering chill. Can such simple answers really settle a complex issue? Yet, in a puzzling twist, Khalil has not been convicted of any crime, a fact that throws a wrench into Homan's bold claims of visa violations. This contradiction cuts through the noise like a cold gust of wind on a winter night, making many wonder if accusations alone can determine one's fate. Is the system truly as clear-cut as it seems? Still, Homan doubled down, warning that Khalil might just be the first domino to fall in a series of expulsions. His message was as stark as a warning shot in the dark. More visa holders could be next in line to be sent packing. The suspense builds. What will the next move be in this unfolding drama? With a firm tone, Homan stressed that any resident alien who commits a crime is open to deportation. He referred specifically to anti-Israel protesters on campuses across the nation, hinting that Khalil's case is merely one chapter in a larger narrative of strict enforcement. How many more will face the same fate under this policy? The tension reached a new high when, late Saturday night, ICE agents acted on orders to cancel Khalil's green card. In a dramatic scene, they detained him right in front of his pregnant wife, leaving an indelible mark of fear and uncertainty. What will become of this family caught in the crossfire? Yet the drama took another unexpected turn on Monday when federal judge Jesse Furman from the Southern District of New York stepped in. His decision to halt the deportation plan brought a momentary calm to a storm that had been gathering force. Will the rule of law finally temper the rush of politics? Judge Furman's ruling means that Khalil's removal is on hold until at least the next court hearing on Wednesday. This pause in the action has transformed the case into a waiting game, where every passing minute adds to the mounting anticipation. What new arguments will be presented when the court reconvenes? A court order, shared with DailyMail.com, clarified the decision to preserve the court's jurisdiction pending a ruling on the petition. Petitioner shall not be removed from the United States unless and until the court orders otherwise. Those words now serve as a lifeline for Khalil, delaying the inevitable storm. How long will this temporary calm last? For context, Judge Furman, who now holds the reins of this decision, was appointed to the Southern District Court by President Obama in 2011 and confirmed in February 2012. His long tenure reminds us that behind every ruling lies a history of decisions and appointments. Could this past influence the future? The backdrop of this saga stretches back to the 2 weeks of relentless protests at Columbia University. Those days were marked by violent clashes and a palpable fear among Jewish students who dared to step into classrooms. The campus became a battleground of emotions and ideas, an image that still haunts many. How did a place of learning turn into a stage for such turmoil? On March 9, 2025, Homeland Security announced a bold move in support of President Trump's executive orders against anti-Semitism. In coordination with the Department of State, ICE arrested Mahmoud Khalil, a former Columbia University graduate student, setting off another ripple of controversy. What will be the long-term fallout of this action? The announcement also stressed that Khalil had led activities aligned with Hamas, a designated terrorist organization. This stark label added a jolt to an already charged situation. Can one label capture the full picture of a person's actions? Trump, with unmistakable pride, hailed the ICE agents for their work, describing Khalil as a radical foreign pro-Hamas student on the campus of Columbia University. His words sliced through the air, leaving little room for misinterpretation. What is the real message behind such a description? The president warned that Khalil is not an isolated case. He claimed that other students at Columbia and across the nation have taken part in activities deemed pro-terrorist, anti-Semitic, and anti-American, and that his administration would not stand for it. The warning is as clear as a siren in the night. What reactions will this provoke on campuses everywhere? He went on to say that many of those involved aren't true students at all, but rather paid agitators. With a steely resolve, he vowed that these terrorist sympathizers would be found, caught, and deported forever from the country. What price will dissent ultimately pay? If you support terrorism, including the slaughtering of innocent men, women, and children, your presence is contrary to our national and foreign policy interests, and you are not welcome here, he declared, leaving no room for ambiguity. His words resonated like a final verdict. Can anyone ignore such a bold stand? In a pointed message to colleges across the nation, Trump insisted that educational institutions must comply with this new directive. The demand hangs heavy in the air, a challenge to the very fabric of academic freedom. Will the institutions yield to the pressure? Federal records now show that Khalil, who graduated in December, is held at an immigration detention facility in Elizabeth, New Jersey. The stark reality of confinement adds a grim note to the ongoing saga. What does life behind these walls hold for him? Activists working to free Khalil claim that at 8:30 p.m., two plainclothes DHS agents confronted him in his apartment building, and shockingly, they refused to reveal their identities at first. This cloak and dagger moment only deepens the mystery. What secrets lie behind those closed doors? In a heart-wrenching detail, Khalil's 8-month pregnant wife, a U.S. citizen, was present during the raid. Reports say she was even threatened with arrest if she stayed by his side, an act that has left the community reeling. How far will these measures go? It's important to remember that in the United States, only immigration judges hold the power to revoke permanent residency. This authority is the backbone of the system, ensuring that only legal processes decide one's fate. Does such concentrated power always serve justice? The rules are clear. Revocation can occur if someone is found to have lied on their green card application or committed certain felonies. Simple in theory, yet each case seems to spark its own debate. Where do we draw the line between mistake and misdeed? A legal filing revealed that ICE had plans to transfer Khalil out of New York to a detention center in Louisiana, a journey spanning nearly 1,000 miles, all without giving him access to his lawyer. This move, seen as retaliatory by many, has set off alarm bells. How can justice be fair when the process is so one-sided? The filing itself describes the action as particularly troubling, hinting that the move might be more about retribution than fairness. Such a characterization casts a long shadow over the proceedings. Is vengeance clouding judgment here? Finally, Khalil's arrest comes on the heels of Trump's announcement to slash $400 million in grants and contracts to Columbia University, holding the school responsible for failing to control the pro-Palestinian protests. This financial blow adds another layer to the drama, leaving everyone to wonder, will this crackdown reshape campus politics for good?